So here we are, finally. I've been preparing for this for months. I went back, I did videos on Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4, preparing for the no doubt life-changing Toy Story 5. Toy Story 5 came out, I saw it in theaters. I was completely baffled by almost every decision they made in the movie. And I mean, sure, it's a movie about funny toys who come to life and do funny stuff. 10 out of 10 masterpiece, my kid barely even looked at his phone the whole time. Much like Hoppers or Zootopia 2, there's a trend with these newer Disney Pixar movies that they just don't work like they used to, at least for me. And I'm not even saying like back in the 90s or whatever, I'm talking just like 10 years ago. Under Pete Docter, Pixar has changed direction in a very noticeable way. Back in March of this year, he was talking about how Elio flopped and some of the changes they made for the movie. Pete Docter told the Wall Street Journal that Pixar didn't want to expose its young audience to things they weren't ready to see or hadn't discussed with their parents. He said, "We're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy." Yes, Pixar, famous for shying away from real emotional themes in their movies. But I feel like you can really tell this change in Toy Story 5. I'm sure this will shock all of you, but Toy Story 5 didn't really work for me. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. So imagine this, you're at an airport or a coffee shop or something, you connect to the Wi-Fi as usual, check your email, check your bank account, and suddenly, your identity's been stolen, your email and bank passwords have been hacked by someone on the same public network just like 3 seats away. You look in your email, you see one from your grandma saying, "OMG, what is this?" You click the link and then you've been phished. These are everyday occurrences on the internet, but having to set up all the different protection apps and get all the accounts going, it's really daunting and annoying. And that's why you need Surfshark. Surfshark's VPN. The VPN itself can hide your IP address and encrypt the data going to and from your device, so hackers can't trace it and steal your Club Penguin passwords or whatever. Surfshark also has an email scam checker that checks for viruses, phishing attacks, and all kinds of other attacks that people are trying to do against you. On top of all that, it comes with ad blockers that block online website trackers, so you don't have to worry about companies stalking your every move, collecting all your data, and then selling it. A VPN is essential for today's world. If you do literally anything online, which would be all of you watching this video right now, and Surfshark is the best of the best. You can even use it on as many devices as you want with just one account. So you buy it once, set it up once, and the whole family's ready to go. Just go to surfshark.com/Meyers or use code Meyers at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN when you sign up. Okay, back to the show. Okay, now to be fair, I feel like the crashed buzzes would be a great idea for a Pixar short. A shipping container full of toys, they crash on an island or something, they have to survive. It's like Toy Story, Lord of the Flies or whatever. Could have been great. But how this ties into the larger movie, I think, is so stupid and uninteresting and doesn't really add anything. They somehow make the buzzes even stupider again. They don't even know how to say words now.
Star. Command.
Why? The original Buzz wasn't like this. The Buzz and Alice Toy Barn wasn't like this. The movie goes on from this right to another thing that I, personally, wish was handled differently.
There. This way, you'll never lose me, Jessie.
So, we're bringing back Emily. Jessie has had many, many decades now to work through all the trauma since joining Andy's family at the end of Toy Story 2, but here we are again. For me, I think it actually kind of betrays the emotional impact that Emily had on Jessie when they show her face right at the beginning. Like in Toy Story 2, we never get a full clear shot of Emily's face during that flashback montage song, because it's not really about Emily, it's about Jessie. It's how Jessie felt, and Emily is more like a force of nature, which is how the humans were for the toys in the Toy Story movies, like Andy, Molly, Lotso's kid, the pizza delivery guy, the kids on the playground. Now, of course, some humans are treated a bit more as characters like Sid or Al, but they also had a very different role in the story. For me, personally, I feel like it was much more impactful to have Emily be less of an actual human character and more like an emotional force for Jessie. Like, maybe Jessie's so hurt by what happened that she doesn't even want to remember Emily's face. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the movie goes on from here, and we find out that Bonnie has no friends because she plays with toys, and toys are cringe.
Sick.
Who poisoned the maid of honor?
I will say, I do think the visual change that happens during the playtime session is really cute and really fun. Like turning all the 3D models into crayon-drawn versions, big fan, love it. Also, it always makes me laugh when movies do the thing where characters talk like someone telling you a story.
And make your vows
Buzz, will you take this ring as my pinky promise to have fun and play with you and stuff for all my days?
You know, kind of like how they do it in the first Ant-Man movie.
And he goes up to the bartender and goes, look at the girl I'm with. You know what I'm saying? She's crazy, stupid, fine, right? And the bartender's all like, yeah, crazy, stupid, fine. So this writer chick tells Ignacio, yo, I'm like a boss in the world of guerrilla journalism, and I got mad connects with the peeps behind the curtains, you know what I'm saying?
But like I said, we come to find out that Bonnie has no friends. Even though Pixar did an entire short about how Bonnie does have friends and also the effects of technology.
It could be a dinosaur, baby reindeer, or something you'd never even think of. It's about being there for your kid. Huh? This bus is out of gas!
So whatever happened to this kid, huh, Pixar? Now, Jessie sees that Bonnie's having trouble making friends, so she sets out to see what's wrong with these kids, besides the fact that they're twins, which is kind of freaky enough in itself. And that's when she discovers that the kids have been mind-controlled by technology.
They're both just sitting there, doing nothing. They ain't playing with toys at all.
What? You didn't hear?
What didn't I hear?
The age of toys is over, lad.
Now, the idea of tech versus old analog toys is an interesting one. Although, like I said, it was already kind of explored in Pixar shorts and in Toy Story 3, actually.
Hello?
Can I have your computer?
No.
Your video games?
Forget it, Molly. Okay, Andy, let's get to work here.
But given how the setup of the movie and all the marketing and all the posters and like everything was about this idea, I feel like the movie doesn't really dig into it as much as it could have. The whole technology thing is really just a plot device for why Bonnie has no friends. The movie's not really about tech versus toys as was advertised.
He's the only one out there still playing with toys. Don't worry. We're safe.
Are we sure about this?
This is just so funny to me. Like they see their daughter having no friends and they're like, well, shoot, let's get her an iPad. Problem solved. But then we meet the character Lilypad.
I hop on the charger. Battery could use a little refresh.
I want to talk to you, device.
Please, call me Lily.
Now look here. Me and the toys have been working all summer to try and get Bonnie to make friends with the Jordan twins across the street.
Yeah.
But then you had to ruin it with all your stupid... You're not even listening to me!
Oh, no.
Now, Lilypad is one of the biggest mismarketed characters like maybe ever. Probably not, but still. She was portrayed as the big villain in all the trailers, the promotional material, like you can see the poster right here. But then actually Lilypad as a character is not really in the movie all that much. Like they could have tweaked the story slightly and had it be almost the exact same without her at all. Like skipping ahead just a little bit, Bonnie already knows the girls from dance class, so the whole like getting bullied at the sleepover thing could have happened regardless of technology. Or like when she gets Lilypad itself, it shows her being addicted to it more and more. But again, the effects of technology is something they very lightly touch on, and then the movie goes off to be about something that's not really related to that very much at all. I keep having the same issue with a lot of movies lately where it feels like, to me personally, they try to cram in a lot of different stuff in the movie and they try to link it together after the fact. So they don't really spend a lot of time on these concepts or ideas. They just kind of like mention it. I personally don't like when movies do this.
Tomorrow, we'll start having strict screen time.
Try it.
Now, all of this highlights another aspect of this movie that I don't like, which is that this movie makes the humans much more prominent and tries to make them into full main characters alongside the toys. Like I said earlier, the humans in the Toy Story series were never like full characters. They were more like Greek gods or forces of nature. Like Andy gets Buzz for his birthday, and this kicks off the story between, Woody and Buzz. Andy goes to Pizza Planet, which leads to them getting lost. Andy goes to Cowboy Camp, like a friggin' nerd, which leads to Woody getting left behind and getting kidnapped, etc. Even Sid, who's much more prominent, it's not about who Sid is or his emotional journey. He would just come and go on a whim, like a force of nature, like I said. But in Toy Story 5 specifically, having the humans try to be more fully realized characters, to me personally, it kind of highlights how shallow and underdeveloped they all are. Like Bonnie's parents are just the most nothing characters. They're completely one-dimensional. Bonnie also, in my opinion, very one-note, very underdeveloped. Now, Andy was also very shallow and very one-note, but like I said, he was never really used as a main character in the story. In Toy Story 3, he's a bit more prominent, but then again, the movie itself is about him growing up and moving on, so it kind of makes sense in that case. Now, speaking of Bonnie's parents being super boring and nothing, like Andy's mom was a very fun, interesting character in her own right. She was very funny, very sarcastic.
Can I help pump the gas?
Sure, I'll even let you drive.
Yeah?
Yeah, when you're 16.
Yep. Buddy.
Come on, it's garbage day.
Mom.
Look, it's simple. Skateboard, college. Little League trophy, probably attic, apple core, trash.
But all the adults in this movie are just nothing. Actually, all the humans in general are largely nothing characters. Even Blaze and her family, who we meet much later. The movie spends so much time on them, and they really try to get us to care about them like a lot. To me, personally, I feel like Pixar movies are usually at their best when they're about the hidden world that exists around humans. You know, like the hidden world of toys, the hidden world of bugs, the hidden world of monsters under your bed, the hidden world of emotions, the hidden world of spirits. Of course, Pixar has a lot of great movies that are focused on humans, like Incredibles and Up and all that. But similar to the issue I had with Inside Out 2, when they take a hidden world movie, but they try to make the humans as equally important, and I feel like it loses some of that Pixar identity. Anyway, so back to the movie. Now, Lily Pad is in the house, and Jessie is none too happy about all this.
I just want what's best for her.
I think I know more than a green calculator what's best for Bonnie.
Really?
Yeah, really. I got 3 kids worth of know-how. Bonnie, before that Andy, and before that Emily.
Oh man, this is just so stupid. Like, it makes no sense, okay? Even if this had been a thing, Al would have cleaned that off in the second movie like he did with Woody, okay? And like, it's never hinted at, it never comes up. Jessie never made any indication that she wanted to go back home to Emily or that she could. So why are we doing this now? And then the movie shows it to us again, like so many times in the movie. It's genuinely hilarious. Like, just in case you forgot from 5 minutes ago, here it is again. Anyway, so that night, Jessie's feeling overwhelmed and calls up Woody to ask for help.
Tex invaded our house, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, her name's Lily Pad. Looks like a frog, but really she's a leech. There's gotta be some way to stop it.
I don't know, Jesse. Toys are for play, but tech is for everything.
Now, just put a pin in that for a second. After getting Lily Pad, Bonnie is joined up with a group chat of the girls in her dance class.
Bonnie?
What? What's wrong?
Chelsea from dance class invited me to a sleepover this weekend. Can I go? Please?
Well, all right.
Now, Jessie doesn't think that Bonnie could possibly make friends online with some stupid iPad, which again makes no sense because Bonnie already knows them in real life from dance class, so the heck is Jessie even talking about? Anyway, Jessie sneaks into Bonnie's backpack to keep an eye on her.
Hey, Chelsea. Oh, hey, Bonnie. Guys, you remember Bonnie? Hi. And this is Jessie. I ain't afraid of nothing, partner. Oh, you still play with toys?
Girl, shut the fuck. This actually brings up another issue I have with how the movie handles its theming. So when Bonnie goes to the sleepover, we learn long afterwards that she gets bullied. They play hide and seek and they just kind of ignore her and leave her outside like all night. But we never get to see any of this. Not that I want to see Bonnie get bullied, but this experience is understandably meant to be a major emotional part of the movie. However, we, the audience, don't get to participate in this important character moment. All we see is this scene right here.
No, this is all wrong.
Which, to me, personally, is just such a bad scene. Like, the way it's storyboarded is so boring. It's so flat. And it feels weird to me that the movie's trying to make the human characters more as main characters, but then this scene here is just us watching Jessie watching Bonnie with no attempt to employ any, like, standard cinematography techniques. As a very small, simple example that I think illustrates my point well, here's this scene from the movie 8th Grade.
Hi, you're Mark's girl, right? Yeah. Oh, your dad was such a huge help at the spring fundraiser. Thank him again for me, will you?
I will.
What's your name again?
Kayla.
Right, Kayla.
Like, the way the camera's positioned and how it uses focus, it tells us a lot about how the main character is feeling in this moment. This scene here in Toy Story 5, it looks like a commercial where like all the kids and all the devices are flat to the camera, they're all on the same line of action the whole time. Actually, it feels a lot like the storyboarding for much of the movie was done by AI, which I know is a bit of an overused criticism, but Netflix did just get in hot water for posting a job position specifically looking for someone who can use AI to make storyboards. And if Netflix is doing it, you know Disney's doing it. In fact, one of the co-founders of Pixar is now heading up an AI film festival, so I'm just saying. But anyway, so going back before all this bullying even happens, Bonnie gets embarrassed that she's getting made fun of for bringing her toys, so she leaves them behind. Jessie and Bullseye fall out of the tree, and they get found by this random old couple who decide to take her to Emily's old house.
Somebody lost their toys.
What's that?
I said somebody lost their toys. Let's see. They belong to an Emily.
Now, personally, I don't really like this because the story is being propelled forward by convenient coincidence. Like, it would mean so much more, I think, if Jessie herself decided to go back or needed to go back to the house for some reason. But this movie just adds the address to her pants or chaps. I don't know what these are actually, but these things, so that she can be found by an old couple that doesn't really matter for anything. This all feels very Minions to me. Like, even in Toy Story 1 with the Pizza Planet car, like, the fact that it's there is a coincidence, sure, yes. But then Woody and Buzz actively try to get in and use it to solve their problem. Toy Story 5, all of this happens without any conscious input from Jessie. Like, for example, in Toy Story 3, Bonnie has a computer, and Woody uses this to look up the address of Bonnie's daycare. So even something as simple as, like, Jessie looks up the address of Emily's old house, and then she writes it down herself in her pants, and then gets found by the old couple, whatever. It's like, that at least would have more, like, conscious input from Jessie, if that makes sense. But so, now Jessie's back at Emily's house, which turns out has just been down the road this whole time. In Toy Story 2, it felt like Woody and Jessie were from completely different places, you know? Like, Al's been searching the globe for all these toys, but then turns out she was just 15 minutes away the whole time. So it turns out Al could have just picked them all up in like one Saturday afternoon.
No! We cannot be here. We've got to get back to Bonnie!
This part is also kind of weird to me. Like, Jessie doesn't seem to know where she is, or like, if she does, she doesn't really seem to care that much because she just really wants to get back to Bonnie. But like, she hears the old lady say that they're taking her to Emily's house. She knows she's at Emily's house, but she doesn't really seem to care that much. And like, they've been showing us Emily flashbacks over and over. Jessie's been looking at Emily's address over and over, and now she's here and it's like, big whoop. Anyway, so she ratatouilles this horse who takes her into the stable, barn, whatever this is, and then a giant pig picks her up and takes her to an old abandoned dollhouse.
Oh, apologies. Where combat Carl's manners. Welcome, please, take a seat.
Oh, no. I've got to get home.
No, sit. Please, sit.
Siéntate.
The pizza with sunglasses. Oh my goodness, we got Bad Bunny in the movie. He's got his own poster. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do. And then he says like 3 lines, and he's in the movie for about 45 seconds. Like I said earlier, all the marketing for this movie is a huge bait and switch. Like, most of the movie isn't really about technology or lily pad at all. And then they have all these new characters who are barely in the movie and don't even do anything. Actually, this brings up another big issue I have with this movie, and it's the same one they had with the fourth one also, which is like, so we have all of Andy's old toys who do nothing, and then we have all of Bonnie's toys who do nothing, and instead they introduce a bunch of new toys for some reason.
How long has it been since your Blaze last had tea?
Things were never really the same once he arrived.
He?
Smarty pants. Blaze's first device.
Also, like, okay, so when Jessie meets these forgotten toys, they introduce themselves as the toys that were left behind because their kid uses tech devices now. But then, if we skip ahead a little bit, Jessie meets the kid, Blaze, and she takes a liking to her specifically because she's not inundated with technology that much. The heck is everyone talking about here then? We've been forgotten because Blaze uses technology. Oh dang, Blaze would be a good friend for Bonnie because she doesn't use that much technology. Which is it, Pixar? But anyway, so Jessie meets Smarty Pants, who is definitely a highlight of the movie.
What? Holy butterscotch!
How long have I been
Shut up,
off?
chair!
Hey, you.
Turn him off!
Who's this little tiny?
And since he knows the inside of the house, Jessie teams up with him to sneak inside and find out how Jessie can save Bullseye and bring them both back home. And only now does she finally seem to realize that she's back in Emily's house.
Wait, I'm back. I'm back home. This is where it all started.
Again, like I said, given how much the movie focuses on Jessie's memories of Emily, I feel like this should have been a much bigger deal. If the movie wanted to focus so much on Jessie and Emily, then like, I think they should have had Emily find Jessie, or Emily's daughter, who's now middle-aged, with her own daughter, and have this tie in more to like the story at large, because the old couple have nothing to do with the movie. It's just so she can meet Blaze, who also is not really tied to anything and anyone, and only shows up like halfway through the movie anyway.
Come on, girl. Come on. Good girl. Where'd you come from? He's perfect.
As I said before, this movie does the thing that I personally don't like, which is where it has a bunch of seemingly unrelated things that are loosely tied together. Bonnie gets addicted to technology, but the actual issue is her getting bullied by the other girls, which could have happened for literally any other reason. Like, it doesn't really gel well with me personally that they introduce all these girls that bully Bonnie, but then the solution is like a totally different girl unrelated to anything. It's like if in the first movie they saw Sid blowing the toys up, and then like another kid shows up halfway through the movie and they never go to Sid's house. Anyway, so Jessie needs to find some new batteries for Smarty Pants, and in so doing, she also runs into his other friends, GPS and Camera.
Fine. We gotta make this quick. Yes!
Number one, you made number.
Atlas! Snappy!
Morty?
Is it really you?
Oh boy, more new characters in this movie that already has like 50 characters on standby begging for things to do. So the way Woody finally shows up is just so unceremonious to me.
Wait, I didn't say that.
You didn't not say it either.
Well,
Question, is Woody gonna perform the wedding ceremony?
I haven't thought that far in advance, Forky.
Okay, then why is Woody at the window?
Woody!
Also, it's kind of weird that they're like, oh, Woody's back, everyone's favorite, and then they just like make fun of him the whole time.
Yeah? Well, Bo likes it. It's good to be back.
Oh,
shiny. What?
Nothing.
Look what Bonnie's done with the place. She really let things go.
Oh, my.
He's bald and he's fat, LOL, am I right? Which doesn't even make sense because he's been an old toy this whole time. And like in the timeline of the Toy Story series, Bonnie is now 8. So this movie is like a year and a half after the 4th one. So why is Woody like this now? Also, Jessie is literally the same exact age as Woody. But putting all that aside, Woody is just completely unnecessary and kind of removes the importance of Buzz, I feel like. Like in this movie, Buzz is trying to propose to Jessie, and now her being missing gives him a great chance to come into his own as a full character and not just like a sidekick, you know? But nope, gotta bring back Woody because it'll make the movie more marketable and we'll make more money, but also let's make fun of Woody the whole time. The Toy Story movies have always been about nostalgia. The first movie is, Andy playing with a bunch of old toys. The second movie is all about like, Woody's old show and his like old life and all that. And the third movie is very much about growing up, moving on from your childhood, but looking back at it with nostalgia. Even the fourth movie, there's an antique store with Gabby, who's, the same age as Woody. But then this movie just laughs at Woody because he's an old man toy.
I'm a little busy helping Bonnie right now.
What on earth happened at that sleepover?
Excuse me, what are you? Are you like some sort of old man toy?
Like, why? I'm not like offended or whatever, but I think this is part of the reason why everything in this movie just feels kind of off to me. But more than that, if Woody wasn't in the movie, nothing would change at all. In fact, I think the movie would be better, honestly. The same problem I have with Lilypad and technology. The actual story being told is about how Bonnie is lonely and needs a friend, and Blaze is also lonely and wants a friend, and Jessie coming to terms with her feeling about Emily and like being wanted in general, which itself also mirrors Bonnie and Blaze's desire for friends. Everyone's basically going through the same thing. But all of this could have happened mostly the same way whether Bonnie got an iPad or not. The movie would have unfolded almost the same exact way whether Woody came back or not. It's just so many extra elements that don't really do anything for the movie. They just like fill time. And yet they were the thing that they advertised the movie as being about. You know what I'm saying?
Psst. Hey!
It's okay, just ignore.
Quiet.
Nobody's home.
I can hear you.
So Jessie goes into Blaze's bedroom and hides, and she sees that Blaze is also lonely, even though she has no way of seeing this chat on her laptop. But sure, okay, Jessie.
Always. By the way, your hair looks so good today.
Oh, okay, her friend canceling the hangout makes a lot more sense now. And so Blaze spends the night reading in bed and falls asleep.
I was wrong about your kid, Blaze. She's creative and silly in a way other kids don't really get.
It's like literally all we've seen her do in this movie is read a book and talk to a pig. Wow, she's so creative. But now here's where we learn some very odd information about Smarty Pants and his friends.
Right. Smarty, Atlas, and I are all compatible. See? And I could take a picture of you. Okay, act like a toy.
Okay.
And Atlas can add text to it. And then we post it on the pond.
So like they explain how they can all work together, which is so hilariously forced to me. Why can you attach a photo to an email on a potty training toy? Like what would a 3-year-old learning how to use the toilet need the text for? Why would this be a function? This is the most forced nonsense plot device I've ever seen. Now, those of you with extremely high IQ and vast intellect will probably say, oh, but the toys coming to life is fine though, Interesting. But like, to me, that's not the same thing because the movies are about real toys in the real world who come alive. Like, the toys are still bound by real world laws of physics and all that. Like, Buzz can't fly because he's a toy. Woody is the way he is because he's this kind of toy. Like, everything surrounding the toys is still realistic, as in like, the toys can only do their toy things. They're bound by reality. But then they introduce these tech toys that can just do anything and everything you need whenever the story needs it. There's no reason why this toy would be able to do this, is what I'm saying.
And Atlas can add text to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
we post it on the pond.
Where Bonnie is.
Okay, so the toys send pictures and info about Jessie and Bullseye to every single lily pad in the world, apparently, and Bonnie sees it, realizes her toys are missing, and the parents drive her all the way to Blaze's house. At this point, Blaze has found Jessie and Bullseye, and she's like, whoa, free stuff. But then Bonnie is embarrassed because she's getting bullied for playing with toys, so she wants the toys back, but she's pretending like she doesn't, because, you know, that's how kids are.
Blaze, this is
Bonnie.
Hello, Bonnie.
Hi. Are these your toys? I don't play with toys anymore. It's just, they're antiques.
This, however, is very devastating for Jessie because she was rejected by Emily decades ago, and now she feels like she's being rejected again by Bonnie.
Because of you! Because of all you darn devices, making kids act older. You stole all our time.
Now see, this is actually, I think, a very valid point. Like I've been saying, I wish they'd focus a little more on this kind of stuff directly, but then the movie has like 15 other storylines and doesn't really spend as much time on this aspect as I personally would have liked.
Sheriff?
I'm sorry, Smarty. It's not you. I'm the one that's useless.
And then she ratatouilles the horse to take her to the famous tire swing from the montage memory, which turns out is just in the backyard. So like, why did we see them driving to and from it in the second movie like it's miles away? Now, when Bonnie went to get Jessie, Woody and Buzz snuck into the car because they also saw the pictures from Smarty Pants. And when they get there, it turns out all the Buzzes from the completely unnecessary C plot also arrive at the same time. And so they all converge on the house.
We found these electronic devices.
Hey, Michael Chippendales, hands off. Whoa! I'm getting a major signal from all you dudes.
I've got full bars.
Me too. I can map for miles.
These guys are their own hotspot.
Speaking of insanely forced plot devices, we find out that the Buzzes are all Wi-Fi hotspots that also magnify each other's Wi-Fi signal, which also Smarty Pants and everyone else can connect to, which is not how any of this would work. I know some of you might think this is just me being nitpicky, okay? But like, if you're gonna have a movie be about real-world technology like iPads and Wi-Fi, and then the technology is just straight up magic, like it can just do anything the movie needs it to. Hello, I'm a potty training toy for 3-year-olds. Also, I can send text messages. Just kidding, I can send entire emails with high-res images attached. Hello, Smarty Pants, I'm a new Buzz Lightyear. I'm a Wi-Fi hotspot that hasn't been set up yet, and I don't know the Wi-Fi password for this house. Yeah, so anyway, that's how we're gonna make like $14 trillion at the box office without even trying. Well, that's perfect, Jocelyn. Then we can take all that money and put it toward firing hundreds of employees.
One of us! Nice! Hey, this one's broken, by the way.
Where are you hiding, Justy, you machine?
Hey, easy there. Yeah.
But okay, so like I said, Jessie runs away to the tree with a tire swing, and then she suddenly, serendipitously finds a box in the ground, which she thinks has a bunch of stuff from Emily in it, but then she realizes the truth.
It doesn't make any sense. She wouldn't have any of this stuff. She'd be all grown up. Emily named her daughter after me.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like, this part is so stupid to me. Her daughter is named Jessie because that was her favorite toy that she threw away when she was like 13. Hello, this is my daughter Jessie, and my son, Easy Bake Oven. Jessie's whole story in this movie comes across as very underbaked to me personally. This emotional hit comes out of nowhere. It feels like there's no buildup, there's no breadcrumb trail. The scene isn't some kind of payoff to what they've been building to, other than Jessie seeing the same 2 memories of Emily over and over again. For example, I think it would have worked better if they had Jessie having more memories while she's in the house, or just having the house itself have more of like a direct impact on Jesse. Like Sid's house in the first movie. Like the house itself becomes a character, if that makes sense. Or something they could have done would be to not show us Emily's face until Jesse opens the box. And this could be symbolic of Jesse finally coming to terms with the trauma of being abandoned and like now she's confronting Emily, so to speak. But as the movie is, I personally felt that there was no real breadcrumbing to this conclusion. It just kind of happens. Like nothing in the movie is actively leading us to this payoff.
Emily named her daughter after me.
And even then, the movie doesn't really respect the emotion of the moment because, like, right as soon as it happens, they immediately cut to a joke of everyone showing up on Blaze's toy horses. And Buzz shows up on a fancy Pegasus. How silly! Compare this to the second movie, when we first get Jesse's story. It has one of the best Disney-related songs maybe ever. It's very emotional, it's very impactful, and after it's done, the movie respects that emotion.
You never forget kids like Emily or Andy.
But then this movie over here, it's like, here's your forced emotional moment. Okay, but not too much though. Here's a funny unicorn. Like imagine if in the second movie we got this whole scene and then Stinky Pete farted right after. It's like they're so scared of kids experiencing any real emotion. Like Pete Docter said, Pixar didn't want to expose its young audience to things they weren't ready to see or hadn't discussed with their parents. We're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. Now let's compare this to what Pixar was doing back like 15 years ago.
We didn't make a single movie for kids. We made movies for us, we made them for adults, and then we had to make sure that they were okay for kids. The thing about kids is they have no taste. They literally will watch anything if it's moving and funny and stuff. You develop taste later. My friend Jeff Pigeon and I went opening weekend to see the movie with a real audience. And the moment when Wally wakes up and he's not himself anymore, you know, when his eyes are just straight across and he's turned into just a robot, you know, before he gets rescue zapped by Eve. Working on that shot at my desk made me cry. You know, it was a very emotional moment. So, you know, I'm paying attention when this happens, and the instant that happened, we hear a little kid way behind us in the theater shout, "That's not the real Wally." And Jeff and I looked at each other and said, well, the movie worked. So, you know, kids get it. When I say we never made a kids film, I want to make sure you understand that I certainly don't, and I don't think anybody thinks kids are dumb. Kids are really, really smart. They're learning machines. Their full-time job is figuring out how the world works, and they're really, really good at it. They do it very quickly.
It feels like, to me at least, that Toy Story 5 wants to redeem Emily for some reason. Even though she didn't do anything bad or wrong, she grew up and stopped playing with toys. This is part of the crux of the second movie, and basically the entire point of the third movie is that kids grow up and life goes on, but the toys stay the same.
How long will it last, Woody? Do you really think Andy is going to take you to college?
Thanks, guys. So having this movie feel like it needs to redeem Emily is very strange to me, and feels like it betrays what the Toy Story movies have been about this entire time. Now, me saying this is a little funny because just a few days after I recorded all this, Entertainment Weekly dropped a story that there is indeed a deleted scene where Jesse meets an older Emily.
She's a grandma. Oh my goodness.
Now, we don't have the full context for this scene, but it seems like, similar to everything in this movie, kind of just comes out of nowhere, like she just magically happens upon Emily playing with her daughter in the backyard or whatever. For me, personally, I would have liked it if Emily and her family were in the movie and more connected to what's happening. So this emotional moment, or this moment potentially, were like an actual payoff to the movie itself in like a more direct kind of way. But anyway, so the end of the movie is Bonnie finally tells her mom that she's being bullied by the girls, and Lilypad feels like it's her fault, so she tries to donate herself, if you know what I'm saying. But Jesse and Buzz and Woody realize that they can contact Lilypad and use her to bring Blaze and Bonnie together to be friends. And now we come to the entire reason why the army of stupid Buzzes exists in this movie.
Punch it, Lily! They fly now. Of course they do. I
I saw some people saying that this is like a conclusion to Buzz's story about not being able to fly, but in my opinion, that was already done in the first movie, where he falls, he breaks his arm, I'm just a toy, what's the point of living? And then at the end of the movie, he flies with the rocket. So, to me, personally, I feel like all of this in the fifth movie is very unnecessary. It's just so they can sell a toy. Literally, guess what you can buy right now? But then the end of the movie, they get Lilypad back to Bonnie and bring Blaze and Bonnie together, and they become best friends.
M'lady.
Yes, I'm 1 billion years old. That's why it's so glorious.
But yeah, so like I've been saying, the movie focuses a lot more on the humans, but they're very one-dimensional, even Blaze and Bonnie. We don't spend that much time with Blaze to really care like that much about her. We've had Bonnie for 3 movies now, and she's still just like a nothing character. Andy was also pretty much a nothing character, but like I said, in his movies, they treated humans more like a force of nature. But in this movie, it's like they really want us to care about these humans as characters, but then they make them just so blah. So I am saddened to inform you all that this movie has made me like Toy Story 4 more retroactively, which is painful to say. Because like, sure, getting kicked in the balls is slightly better than getting shot in the kneecap. I just found Toy Story 5 to be very unnecessary, and it kind of betrays almost everything that made the Toy Story franchise so good in the first place, at least in my opinion. And how about you?